Elgin Jones of the South Florida Times. I'm speaking with attorney Johnny McCray and his client Barbara Henry of Sunrise. Miss Henry was shot at and injured by Plantation police in Sunrise on her way to work on Monday, February 8th. Mr. McCray, tell us what happened.
Well, Miss Henry was on her way to work. She's a nurse assistant at a local rehabilitation center, and she observed some police activity. And she went around the police that were there on the road, and she was traveling about 10-15 miles per hour. At that time, she heard a gunshot, and the bullet actually went through the window on the driver's side where she was seated. And she actually thought she was shot because her arm was bleeding profusely. And she was rushed to the hospital. But she later found out that she had not been shot, but the glass from the window actually injured her arm. She got out of the car and she was thrown to the ground by several of the police officers and handcuffed. And eventually she was rushed to the hospital because she actually thought she was shot. That's where she was learned that she was not shot, but her arm had been injured from the glass.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you say there was a shot that came through the window. Which window of the vehicle?
The driver's side window, right where she was seated.
Oh, so this would have been on the side of her?
That's correct.
All right. And what happened after she was shot?
She stopped the car and she got out of the car, and police officers converged on her. And she was thrown to the ground, handcuffed, and she was telling them she was a nurse, she was on her way to work, and again, she was traveling well within the speed limit. She wasn't violating any speed laws. And eventually they took the handcuffs off one of her hands, but they eventually transported her to the hospital because she was bleeding, and she thought she had been shot.
And has any charges been filed against your client?
As of today, the answer to that is no. No charges have been filed.
Yeah. Are you allowing your client to speak to us today?
Well, I mean, she can tell you what happened because we have nothing to hide here.
Okay. Ms. Henry, tell us what happened and explain to us how you reacted once your window was shattered.
I was on my way to work, 10:30. I work at the Kids Corner in Plantation. I'm a nursing assistant. And I saw all the cops' car, the lights flashing. I was proceeding very slowly, 10 to 15 miles. As I passed the cop car, I heard a big blast. A big gunshot came through the glass. And I was pulled from the car, thrown to the ground, and uncovered. I keep yelling, I'm a nurse at Plantation, and I'm on my way to work. I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse. And then they took the cuff off my hand. And once I heard one cop whisper that it was mistaken identity. And I heard another one say that it was the thief that shot me. I said, no, it's the cop. It's the cop that shot me. And I was put in the ambulance and taken to the hospital, where they took away my phone. And I asked them to call my family, my sons, and my daughter-in-law, and my co-workers to let them know what was happening. They told me they called, but they did not call my son. I had no moral support from my family.
And what injuries did you suffer?
From my arm, the glass was all over my arm. All over. I was traumatized. I thought I was shot by the cops. Oh my God.
And this was the glass from the shattered window?
Yes.
And what did the police, did they come to the hospital to question you at all?
Oh, yes. They were there.
And did any of them tell you anything?
No, they didn't tell me nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all.
So what do you think happened? Why do you think this happened?
Why did it happen?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know why. I'm a nurse going to work. Why would they try to shot me? He aimed for my head.
And do you remember hitting or injuring any of the officers?
No, sir. I did not hit anybody. I would have felt if I hit somebody. I did not hit nothing at all. Nothing.
And was there any of the officers in the roadway asking you to stop or
No,
wait?
sir. Nobody stopped me. Nobody stopped me. My driver's license clean completely. Not even a ticket on my license.
And have you ever had any problems with the law before?
No, sir. No.
No criminal record, no
Not
arrest?
at all. Nothing. Nothing.
And you wasn't running for anything?
No, sir. It was early. I wasn't late going to work. My shift begins at 11. I leave my home 10:30. And I was going slowly.
And was there any safety cones or traffic control devices in the roadway?
No, none at all.
And why do you think this happened?
I heard once it was a mistake in identity.
Meaning they thought you were a
Maybe.
suspect
I don't know.
of some sort?
I don't know.
All right. And what were the natures of your injuries?
It's swollen, see? It hurt. They gave me a shot at the hospital.
A tetanus shot.
Tetanus shot.
And you're still wearing the band
Yes,
from the
yes,
hospital
from the
visits?
hospital, yeah.
Okay. And how do you feel now?
I'm still in pain and I'm traumatized. I can't sleep at night. I woke up crying and yelling. I can still hear that gunshot.
Okay. And Mr. McCray, where do you go from here? Your client has not been charged. Have you received any explanation from the police department?
I've not had any contact with the police department as of yet. I'm still in the investigative stages. I will be making certain public records requests. I will be endeavoring to obtain copies of whatever reports are available as soon as possible.
And do you anticipate any charges being filed against your client?
Well, I hope not. Based upon her explanation of what has happened, I don't think that there is any basis for a charge or charges to be brought. But sometimes dealing with some of the local law enforcement agencies, nothing surprises me in an effort to cover themselves. They oftentimes do things that are unjust and improper. Hopefully that won't be the case here.
All right, thank you. Elgin Jones for the South Florida Times.